What's up? Ranger Raven 5678 here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat. Today we got a big game. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 6 beta.
I'm repairing it as hard as I can.
I get it.
I got it with the repair tool!
Can you get a rest, please?
No, because I'm...
Now, for those of you who just want a quick and simple answer, is Battlefield 6 a $70 game or a $100 game? And to put it into quick perspective, if I am not 100% convinced just yet, we only got a taste of 3 maps that are relatively small for a Battlefield game. And there's a few tweaks that I feel like that needs to happen in the game, especially with the gun, before I feel like this game is definitely worth a AAA price. But if the second weekend beta goes well, which is going to be taking place this Thursday between the 14th and the 17th, and which is going to be adding another map, which is supposed to be their biggest map that we are able to play on so far, and also some more game modes that are coming out. If those go super well, then I am honestly going to be considering pre-ordering. And my overall thoughts on this game so far, based on the beta, I believe this is going to be a true sequel to Battlefield 4, and I also think, in my personal opinion, that this is my favorite Battlefield game since Battlefield 4. Battlefield 1 was an amazing game. It was probably one of the most immersive games I've ever played, but coming off of Battlefield 4, I felt like Hardline was more of an expansion, and which is why I always forget that that's his own game. And Battlefield 1 didn't feel as big and fleshed out as Battlefield 4. Battlefield 5 had a really weird marketing campaign, and it was really bad at the beginning, and eventually it became free, and it actually did get good. And then, well, we had that one other game, I think it's called 2042, but I'm not sure if that game ever existed, because yeah, absolutely no one played that shit. But yes, if you love Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, me personally, I did, and I highly recommend picking up and checking out Battlefield 6, especially between the 14th and the 17th, where the beta is legit going to be free for everyone. So try it out, which you probably already have, because this game has a massive player count spike over the weekend, at least on Steam, with over 500,000 concurrent players, and that's just on one system alone. It's not counting the people who are playing on the EA launcher and the console, so that number has to be bigger, even doubled, if I believe so, if more people are playing on console than PC. But yeah, so if the Battlefield beta week 2 or weekend 2 goes well, then I'm personally going to consider pre-ordering the game. And listen, if you've already pre-ordered the game, I'm not going to be that guy on YouTube be like, don't pre-order games and all this stuff. If you feel like you're getting your money's worth out of it after playing the beta, then go ahead and pre-order it. Do what you want to do with your money. I don't care. You know, just as long as you're enjoying it, then that's all that should matter. But if you're here for the long haul of this video, and I'm not going to really try to make this video long, because I have a lot to say about it, but I'm going to try to keep it on the shorter side, then let's get started with talking about, of course, the most important thing in my opinion of a Battlefield game, and that is the maps. So we got access to 3 different maps, and I have to say, out of the 3, I like 2 of them, and I didn't really vibe with one of them. So the 2 maps that we got is Caesar Cairo, and I honestly can't remember what the other map is called, but these maps feel like a big Call of Duty map and a small Battlefield map, and they don't even have like aerial combat in these maps, so you know, it is what it is. But what makes these maps so awesome and engaging is the level of destruction. The level of destruction in this game is definitely been amped up. I didn't feel like in 2042 there was a bunch of destruction going on, and it felt like it was kind of getting nerfed every year, especially after Battlefield 4 and Hardline. I was suspecting Revolution to be a must-have in the game, but ever since Battlefield Hardline, we haven't gotten any such Revolution. And also, this game does not seem to have Levolution, but in all honesty, like once the Levolution thing goes off and stuff like that, it changes the map, and it can make the map either better or worse, and I'd rather it not risk making the map worse. So the level of destruction has to be strong in this game, and I am so happy to announce that the destruction in Battlefield 6 is very good. So yeah, so the two maps that you get to play on, like I said, they feel like a smaller Battlefield map and a bigger Call of Duty map, and I think it's because these two maps are mainly focused on infantry combat, which it seems like this whole game has been mainly focused on infantry combat, as vehicles seem to be a little undertuned at the moment. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the tanks just die super easily. But and then also the aerial combat is super janky at the moment. The sensitivity seems to be quite low, and so it's like, you know, if I'm playing on my mouse and keyboard, which I saw that you can play on mouse and keyboard on consoles, which is super awesome, and it's actually going to help with crossplay. But if I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, from what I heard, people literally have to keep smacking their mic or the mouse on their desk just to turn the damn jet, and that can be really frustrating. So yeah, so if the two maps that are more smaller, or that are like taking place in city urban environment, are maybe more focused on infantry combat, I expected the bigger map, the snowy mountain map, would have been more focused on vehicle combat, but it doesn't even seem like it was like that either. So I don't know what it is about this map, but it just does not vibe with me. Plus, it's a very good map for snipers at least, so there is that, and the sniping in this game is quite good, but I'll get more into that a little later when I start talking about Recon. So, but overall, so far, the maps are okay. If somebody really just straight up hated them, I completely understand. But hopefully the last map that we're supposed to get later this weekend, it's a lot better and feels like a lot like the original Battlefield games. And speaking of sniping and stuff like that, let's go into the classes real quick. So Recon is very, very fun. I actually never had fun playing Recon in any Battlefield game, but this time around I actually found myself really enjoying Recon, specifically because of how easy it is to you know, pull your UAV out and be able to see enemies on your radar. And I mean, listen man, if I have one tip for anybody who's just getting to Battlefield, use your damn minimap, man. You should be looking at your minimap every like 5-6 seconds or so, because that shit is so important. And you don't, and with the amount of destruction that are in this game, you don't have to worry about an enemy camping in the building, because you can just chuck a C4 in there and blow it up, and you can see if he's dead. But Recon though, it's been very fun. Sniping is very satisfying, and honestly, before we go on, there is two playlists that you can play this game in, either closed weapon or open weapon. So what closed weapon and open weapon mean is that closed weapon is more of the classic Battlefield game, where, you know, Recon, they're the snipers, so they use snipers and DMR. Assault, they're the frontline dudes, so they're using, you know, shotgun and assault weapons, you know, yada yada yada. You kind of get the point. Engineers use SMGs, you know, you get the gist of it. But after playing Recon and playing these, as I said, these two maps that are more infantry focused, stuff like that, I wasn't having such an easy time sniping, so I decided to switch to, you know, assault rifles and shotgun, and they have been really been beneficial for me, because I feel like I could be more a part of the team now. Like, I don't really have to you know, play with my one arm tied behind my back, because I'm using a gun that specializes in long range in a map where it's very short range close quarters combat. So I think I'm going to start leaning more towards the open weapon stuff. Plus, it allows people to have more of a variety when it comes to builds and stuff like that. And hey, if you want to be Recon and you want to use a sniper rifle, just do it. I mean, there's nobody holding you back, man. Now, one thing that does suck, and this kind of is a good segue into the next class, is that so far from what we heard, the Recon is losing their spawn beacon, which is kind of weird for me, but at the same time, I 100% understand, and I think I actually agree with it. So the reason why it seems like Recon is losing their spawn beacon is because the spawn beacon is getting moved to the assault class. The assault class is the frontline Call of Duty, you know, class that a lot of people play as. Like, this is the most common class that you're gonna see, and really it's a pretty selfish class, unless because your main attitude should be going for kills and stuff like that. You know, where other class like recon and support are giving out, you know, information and ammo and medic and stuff like that, and engineers repairing tanks and destroying tanks. You know, assault is all about the front line, anti-infantry kind of thing. So it's a pretty selfish class, but the good thing is though that if it has the spawn beacon, if the assault has the spawn beacon, then it's good. Then, you know, if there's a good player, of course, he's gonna put the spawn beacon somewhere on the front line. So where, you know, so whenever you're, you know, dying or whatever like that, at least you don't have to worry about, you know, oh, my recon put a spawn beacon, but he's at the back of the map camping, going for, you know, 400-meter, you know, headshots and stuff like that, and I have to run 5 minutes just to get to the objective. That was my problem in Battlefield 4 with, you know, playing in a squad full of reconers, if that's even a word. Anyway, that put spawn beacons down is that, well, they were doing what they should be doing, which is sniping, camping. You know, that's what a sniper does. But you know, but with me, if I, you know, who mainly plays as the medic, if I want to get back in combat, I can't spawn on the spawn beacon, because then I would have to run my ass 5 minutes just to get to the objective. So I completely understand why assault is getting the spawn beacon, and I just hope it plays well. We haven't actually got a taste of that you know, gameplay yet. I'm not sure when it's supposed to be coming. I think we're just waiting for it to go out to live, but hopefully it'll come out in the second open beta. But yeah, that's Assault in a nutshell. Like I said, it's a pretty selfish class that is, you know, specializing in anti-infantry combat, which there's nothing wrong with it, by the way. If that's your play style, man, then play it. But a class that is on the flip side, that is all about giving out support, is the medic. Now, medic got a big change that I am so happy for, and that is the fact that medics can not only heal teammates, but they can also give ammo. That is such a huge change, and dude, it means everything to me. Like I said, I love playing the medic class because, well, I suck at, you know, FPS gamers or stuff like that. You know, I suck at FPS games, okay? So you're not gonna see me, you know, going, you know, 40-1 every game or something like that. So I try to go to where I'm strongest in, and that is supporting my teammates and resupplying them, giving them ammo, you know, also letting their gadgets respawn, which, by the way, this game has a very good way of giving you gadgets back. So, you know, say I'm recon and I'm using my C4 to blow up a tank, well, instead of, you know, just going without my C4 now forever, I just have to wait for a little timer to go off before I can get my C4 back. It's a little unrealistic, to be honest, but honestly, in a gameplay perspective, it works out really well. And the medic, now that it has the ammo bag, can help you spawn your shit faster, and it just works out very well, man. It's like peanut butter and jelly, bro. It just works. Another thing that has also been changed for the medic is the fact that not only that they can just instantly revive you, so, you know, if they're just going for revive, then they don't care about your life and they just revive you, and stuff like that. Well, you don't have to worry about all medics that do that, because there's a new mechanic which at first sounded like a gimmick, kind of like in Battlefield 5, where if you wanted to revive somebody, you would have to literally just, you know, rub their hands and just, you know, and make out with them for a couple of seconds before you can get them back up. In this game, though, you can actually drag your teammate to cover and revive them at the same time. Now, you can actually do this even if you're not a medic, but you can only do this with your squad mates, which is something that was carried over from Battlefield 5, where in Battlefield 5, you don't have to be a medic to revive your squad mates, you just can't revive your teammate. And this drag mechanic have me saving so many lives. It's unbelievable. And I'll also like to point out that medics can drag and revive people a lot faster, so, you know, it's a bonus. And yeah, man, dude, it just works, man. Like I said, this class is so smooth. It has never been better in my opinion, and I am so happy as a medic main to be getting such a huge change and buff into this game, which is why I just love this game. I mean, I'm sorry, but you know, spoiler alert, but I really do like this game. Now, on the flip side, is patching up boo-boos and giving out lollipops to your teammate isn't your thing, then you have one more class that I actually, you know, I'm still cool, and that is the engineer. Now, I don't have any problem with engineers. Engineers have their own thing. You know, if they blow shit up, okay? If you're addicted, if you you know, I forgot what they call these kinds of people that just love to blow everything up, but if you're addicted to explosion, the engineer is where you want to be. Now, of course, as I've said before, as the assault class is a pretty selfish class, whereas the anti-infantry. Engineer focuses mainly on anti-vehicle because they come equipped with rocket launchers like RPGs and anti-air weapons and stuff, and also mines as well, which I didn't actually get a chance to figure out how those mines work, but I think what you do is you put your mine down and then it shoots a rocket at a vehicle or something. But they can also repair tanks. So again, if you don't feel like, you know, repairing people, repairing body parts, then you can repair tanks and vehicles and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. I've never been an engineer kind of guy, so I'm not going to go in too deep about it. I did play engineer a little bit just so I can get the challenges out of the way. But yeah, engineer, yeah, pretty cool. Now, before we go into the weapon, I do have to say one more thing about it, and that is the cosmetic in this game. Now, to me, finding out what kind of stuff Call of Duty has been putting to the game over the past few years is like a dad finding out, or, you know, it's like their dad, you know, not talking to their son for a couple years, and then you come back, and then all of a sudden they're married and they have kids and stuff like that, and it's like, what the hell did I miss? I mean, if you don't know, freaking Call of Duty now has Nicki Minaj, the American Dad guy, and they're like, it's literally the Fortnite of first-person shooters and stuff like that. And Battlefield 2042 tried to do some crap like this too, with the infamous Santa outfit that they tried to release, that EA then tried to deny, saying, oh yeah, we weren't going to release it. No, that was just you know, a test or whatever. I can't remember what they came up with. But from what I heard so far is that everything in this game right now, as you see it, is the way this game is meant to look. Grounded, military, tactical, all that stuff. Now, there will be cosmetic, and as far as I know, I think there is going to be a battle pass or whatever like that. And if you're rolling your eyes and stuff like that, I understand. But to be honest, if a battle pass is good, it's a good battle pass, but that's all subjective. Not everybody's gonna like the same cosmetics and stuff like that. But as far as we know, they've already again said that everything is going to be very military, gonna look realistic and stuff like that. This game, quote unquote, does not need Nicki Minaj. Now, if Nicki Minaj wants to be an operator and stuff like that, hey, I'm cool with that because I think she's pretty hot. But, you know, honestly, though, if this is the way they want to go, then I will give them a huge round of applause, because that is what I play a military shooter for. I play, you know, to be immersed into the game. If I see Eminem, you know, freaking shooting a rocket launcher out of the sky, or, I don't know, freaking Peter Griffin driving a jet and then going into the air and jumping out of it and shooting a jet behind it with an RPG, I'm gonna freak out a little bit, because it's gonna make me cringe. And honestly, those kinds of things drive me away from the games, which is why I haven't really been digging Call of Duty since, well, really since Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3 wasn't, in my opinion, all that good of a game anyways, but it was, I felt like it was one of the last few games before they came out with some really weird skin. Like, I loaded up Call of Duty Mobile the other day, and in the screen, there's freaking Transformer looking dudes, and then after the loading screen, there's like pirates dudes now. Like, what in the world is Call of Duty doing? But as far as I know, you know, EA has already stated, yeah, no, or DICE has already stated that, yeah, no, this is a military shooter. It's gonna look like a military shooter. It's going to be a military shooter. Now, this is EA. All right, I'm not saying, oh yeah, we should just, you know, go ahead and trust them and stuff like that. It's like the boy who cried wolf. They lie, they lie, they lie. Okay, and I'm not calling EA liars right now, but expect it because it's a corporation that needs to make money. And honestly, if Call of Duty wasn't making all these weird American Dad skins and stuff like that into their game, that would be because nobody's buying them. But obviously they are. So we just kind of have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, just keep an eye out for this. So yeah, and this kind of concludes the video and my overall thoughts on Battlefield 6. Again, I think that this is the true sequel to Battlefield 4, not whatever 5 and 42 and, you know, stuff like that was. You know, I'm sorry if you like those games, but in my opinion, nah, they weren't for me. But even though Battlefield 1 is an amazing game, I still think it is an amazing game. To me, I feel like I'm gonna like Battlefield 6 a lot more. Now, again, is it worth the $70? I'm not gonna tell you, yeah, you need to go buy it right now. Screw that. Go buy the $100 Phantom Edition and stuff like that. If you spent your money already, then you spent your money already, okay? You do you. But in my personal opinion, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna wait until this next open beta that comes out and see how the map is, which again is supposed to be the biggest map so far. So, you know, I'm gonna see how it is, and then of course see how the other game modes are. And if I have fun and I love it, I might make another video, I might not, but I might end up pre-ordering it. I'm not afraid to admit it, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to shame you for pre-ordering a game that you have confidence in. And yeah, man, and as long as the launch is okay, like if this is seriously has been the smoothest a new Battlefield game has ever been. So if the launch is fantastic and you know, and the game is good overall, this game is gonna blow up. Now, is it going to be the Call of Duty killer and, you know, Battlefield just did the impossible, you know, stuff like that? Well, that's going to be up to you. If you stop playing Call of Duty after this game, well, same here, okay? Listen, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 just got announced, and we don't really know anything about it, okay? We only know what Battlefield 6 is bringing to the table. Now, let's be honest, Black Ops 7 is probably going to be the same thing that we've been getting every year, but that game still makes a lot of money for whatever reason. So you know, for whatever reason, people still buy sports game every year. So will it kill Call of Duty? Only time will tell. But you know, overall, I don't care. I just want Battlefield 6 to be a good game, man. God, I need it to be a good game, okay? This has been the first game, you know, besides Ready or Not, that I can say that it brought the boys back. Because me and the boys, bro, we played this beta, and we loved it. It was so much fun. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the beta as well. You know, honestly, like I hope it's a good game. Okay, I really want this to be a good game. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.